So yeah, I kind of already talked about the beginning of
Hey,
No
look!
Way Home.
New friends!
It basically starts out like right where Far From Home left off, with him being framed and shit, and he gets like charges put on him from damage control, from the comics, obviously, and then he needs a lawyer. And okay, let me preface. So yeah, I bought Far From Home on Amazon, and then I watched Spider-Man the next day after work. And the theater I went to, it's kind of like a fancy restaurant style
A number of kidnapped SHIELD agents are fighting AIM
movie
forces.
theater,
Help them.
kind of like an Alamo Draft House or something. And
Come on, guys, you're just
shit.
embarrassing yourselves.
it's cool because you can like order food. There's like a little button on the on the table,
Spicy boys,
but that means that
incoming!
like people are constantly walking back and forth, and so yeah, I kind of just wanted to get it over with and watch it, and I got a ticket last minute. I didn't have to pay $10,000 or whatever that shit was. People were buying Spider-Man tickets. But yeah, I got one of those like handicap partner seats, which I like because it's usually it's either like just two seats together, or in this one it was like just the one seat on the left side, so that worked out for me. But but yeah, the experience was cool. It was, some people don't like when people like cheer and clap and all that shit, but I mean, it's okay. I feel like it adds to the movie in a way. And I bring that up because like the first real
There are
cheer
the
of the
agents.
movie
Help them defeat AIM.
is he needs a lawyer. Spider-Man does, and it's fucking Charlie Cox Daredevil from the Marvel show, and I actually really like that too because I'm a fan of those Netflix shows. So it was cool that they kind of confirmed that exists. So to me, that was like the biggest addition to the movie in a way. Defeat all the enemies.
Hey, it's those agents you were talking about.
These turrets are fucking bullshit.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
I don't know if that one was still.
That's it. I'm done being friendly.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, he's a good guy. Look at Hulk trying to fight that fucking turret. But anyway, yeah, the Daredevil scene's cool. Like, he's talking to Spider-Man, and like, people hate Spider-Man now. So someone throws a brick through his window, and it comes through the window, and Daredevil's facing the opposite way, right? And he like catches it. And they're looking at him like, "What kind of a lawyer are you?" And he's like, "I'm a good lawyer," or some shit. So I mean, that was cool. It's definitely something you can tell, like, they filmed it later.
Agent down.
The movie feels disjointed because for a lot of it they didn't know if Toby was going to be in the movie. So like they almost started like making a totally different movie just in case. So I mean, like, the beginning of the movie and a lot of the stuff later on feels like it's from just two different ideas.
are safe. Sending them pickup
But yeah,
coordinates
so he gets
so
a
they may
lawyer,
evacuate.
and he needs Doctor Strange to come up with a spell. And this is kind of like where the movie starts, basically. And it's this awful scene that you've seen in the trailer. I don't know what was up with Benedict Cumberbatch's voice. Commoner Snatch.
I've sent Commander Hill a
But,
rendezvous location to
It
extract the
sounded
shield
really
agents.
bad.
Well done.
Like it was something they filmed early, like I said. And he has the fucking terrible line from the trailer. This Scooby-Doo, this shit. And it's so bad. And they make him say it twice. And of course the audience I was with chuckled. Because, you know, they're supposed to chuckle at everything. The mindless audience or whatever people talk about. But yeah, this scene's awful. So anyway, yeah, he goes to Doctor Strange to get the get the spell, get him to do a spell, and it's pretty cool how he does it. Like he's
An elite AIM team is close
Like,
by and on alert.
pulling shit
Updating
from
your
the
HUD.
sky, and I don't know. It's a cool scene where he's making the spell.
I almost feel bad for these guys. Almost.
Fucking Spider-Man's being fucking annoying because he keeps like changing the spell, and it makes it harder to like concentrate or whatever. And to me, that was like the most annoying time
Things considered, pretty well.
where I thought Spider-Man was the most annoying. Tom Holland has a scene later on that's pretty good. Emotional scene. So yeah, he tries to get him to make the spell, and he fucks with it too much. And Doctor Strange is like, "No, I'm putting it away." Because I guess like when you make a spell, you can't just stop it. You have to like put it in a box or something. Okay, yeah, I was confused, but so like he doesn't do the spell. He doesn't unleash the spell, but doing it causes the villains to come in anyway. Because like the whole reason he's pissed is the whole reason he wants help is because he's trying to get into MIT, but he's like a criminal, and his friends can't get into MIT either. So, and there's like an admissions person, and I guess he's supposed to like meet up with her to try and get in or whatever. Oh yeah, because Doctor Strange is like, dude, just fucking call the administrator or whatever.
Every member of
Try
the
and get
elite team
an
must be
interview.
defeated.
Dude, this isn't Iron Man. Makes him wear that stupid outfit. Oh, he's like got ice.
Your knight in
Shit's
high-tech
crazy.
armor is here. Thanks. Gonna try ducking from now on.
He's great.
Guess you got an upgrade. It's me.
You owe me one. Need a hand here.
Maybe this wasn't a good mission. Strange tells him go meet the administrator, and then oh wow. So he just like goes up to her. And they're on like the highway or whatever, like I mentioned earlier, and that's where like Dr. Octopus comes out of nowhere, and you know, it's like a basic place to have a fight scene, but it is a good fight scene. It's pretty cool. And then he captures Peter and takes his mask off, and he's like, you know, oh shit. He's like, you're not fucking Peter, the one I know. Fucking PS4 controller, dude. And then somehow, like, the Stark technology and the Iron Spider suit, the shitty movie version of it. Look at this guy, he's just trying to shoot. It, like, integrates with Octavius's tentacles somehow. I imagine they explain it in the movie, but when you're watching a movie, it's kind of hard to hear. And like, but I also feel like there's a lot of shit they kind of just explain really fast. You don't really understand it. Just let it slide. Like when Electro explains why he's not a nerd anymore. This shit's crazy.
Sleeping on the job. Anyone got a first aid kit? Excellent. Another agent down. Well done. That squad member has been neutralized.
Really use some cover.
Take things up enough.
I'm out of there. Oh, it's a drone. Ah, I died. Yeah, he locks him up in like these like glass tubes, and it's all the villains. I'm trying to talk and play this.
How many more hits I can take?
Let me help you out.
Oh, I better know that you're Does it seem we're not friends anymore?
It's essentially all the villains from the other movies. And Doctor Strange is like, he's making a spell to like send them back. But I guess Spider-Man wants to like reform them before they get sent back, because like they're all coming from the point in time where they're about to die, and so Tom Holland Spider-Man, you know, wants to save them first, and Strange is like, nah, fuck that, and so he Spider-Man's like steals the spell. And, they have like a cool like chase type thing, and eventually he like traps Doctor Strange. He uses math equation to trap him in the mirror universe, and he takes his sling ring, his teleport, his portal creator thing.
Hey, it's those
And,
ape people you keep talking about.
think it's over.
Oh, there's one cool part where he does the out of body soul punch, and even though like Parker's out of his body, he's still like dodging all this shit. Which is cool. I guess like the spider sense is like an automatic like reflex. That's kind of cool. Yeah, like the order of a lot of these scenes I'm forgetting, but I know there's like a cool scene where they show the feast, homeless shelter from the game, and there's a good scene with Willem Dafoe where he's like freaking out. There's one scene where he looks at his mask and it's like laughing at him and talking shit, and he breaks it and runs away. They're so lucky Willem Dafoe is in this movie, because it would really be bad without him. See, it says here, Strange prepares to reverse the spell. Okay, yeah, Parker steals the thing, traps him in the mirror dimension. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So, like in this one, they show that Happy and Aunt May are fucking, and she's like, "Oh, let's take all the villains to his apartment." And so they're all up there, and they kind of play it for laughs. But later on, there's a cool scene where they're all trying to get healed, and like, but the way they explain it, they feel like
Destroy
they're
the
just kind of
turbines.
getting their power zapped, and like Electro's like got this like thing on his chest that's sucking out the juice from him.
AIM has
And,
sent forces to stop you.
He's like, "Nah, man, fuck this
know you
shit,"
can
and it's
still
actually a
run.
cool scene.
No?
It's like a tension building scene, and there's like a countdown sound to it, and you know, Green Goblin's on board, with getting fixed, or he does get fixed. So he's kind of a good guy for the rest of the movie. Like Sandman's like, "Nah, fuck this," because he's trying to get home to his kids. And it's Thomas Hayden Church's voice, but he's always in like sand form, mud form. That's the only way they can do it, I guess. Although it's funny, there's a shot of him in human form, Thomas Hayden Church, and he's like looking out of the little holes in the Statue of Liberty crown, and it looks like a shot that they took from Spider-Man 3 and like just photoshopped it. It doesn't really look like him now, I don't think. So yeah, everyone else rejects, you know, getting their powers taken away, and oh yeah, and then I guess it's like Green Goblin, you know, finally turns and gets them to like, you know, reject the plan and get out of there. And they have the awesome fight scene. It's the best fight scene in the movie with Willem Dafoe and Tom Holland Spider-Man. And it was the one part of the movie where I felt like the low budget kind of helped, because it's like a real kind of gritty, like practical fight. Like Green Goblin like tackles them like down like 3 stories or some shit, whatever the building is, and it's just really sick. He beats the shit out of him, and then like they're at the lower level, and Aunt May's down there, and like Green Goblin escapes with the glider, but like the glider kind of hits her,
Let's go say hello.
and I guess Spider-Man doesn't notice it right away. He's like, "Oh, May, you're okay," you know, and she's like trying to walk it off, you know, and then she falls over finally, and they have the death scene. And it's really good. It's a really effective scene, and she says the line, "The great power." What the fuck? With great responsibility. Well, I'm invisible. And then it's cool because Jameson comes in with the police, or like the reporters or whatever, and cops are coming and shit. And they're like, "Spider-Man's in there, get him." I already broke it. And it's pretty brutal, like the cops are like shooting at Spider-Man, and then Happy Hogan comes and he's like, "Get the fuck out of there," and they arrest him and shit.
Thanks much. Badly. How did you try?
And so that's supposed to be like, you know, the low point for
Need
Spider-Man,
some backup over here.
Let me help you out.
because you know, you could have just let them go. Ah, you piece of shit.
Not feeling too hot right now.
Ah, you know, I should have stopped fighting those guys and hit the turbines. But anyway. So yeah, that's like his low point. And then
AIM has a set of turbines powering one of their emergency
I
generators.
really have to do this again.
Disable them.
Whatever. It doesn't really matter when I'm playing while I do this, but anyway. So the sling ring comes into play. Well, how did I do a Shoryuken? Oh, you hold it. Shoryuken. Wow, that's cool. Ned gets the sling ring and he's at like his grandma's house or some shit. And they're like, you know, "Where's Peter?"
Destroy the
And
turbine.
they make a fucking portal. And then you look and it's like, it's obviously the Garfield Spider-Man, because the
AIM has
outfit.
sent forces to stop you.
And he looks back and he's like, "Whoa." And then he comes in and they have a really cool scene where they're like, you know, previous Spider-Man like crawling the walls and shit. And if the scene was just that, it would have been fine. But it really felt like a Saturday Night Live sketch when like they're like, "Let's just try this again," and then fucking Tobey Maguire comes out, and you know the audience is losing their shit, right? Even though we knew this was coming.
Let's keep fighting.
Really, the Garfield thing was like the main surprise. But even that was like, you knew he was gonna be in it. But yeah, then Tobey Maguire comes in, and he looks weird. He looks older, and he's not like in Spider-Man shape. He's just wearing like normal clothes. And it's funny because Andrew Garfield like makes a youth pastor joke, which, you know, is one of the few good jokes in the movie. I didn't mean to do it. I already died. This game sucks. So the Spider-Mans come through, and you know, they're like, they kind of need to go find the regular Parker and talk to him, the MCU Parker, and you know, they do the thing where he's like, "Don't you try and say how you know how I feel," and then they bring up, you know, part of their backstory and shit. And except it was Uncle Ben. Even though in this MCU Spider-Man they do reference Uncle Ben, and he kind of has like the responsibility line. I thought they inferred that did say that to Spider-Man already, because it comes up in the first movie in Homecoming. But anyway, so then they gotta like team up, right, to try and cure all the villains, and they're kind of in a lab, and they're all together. And this was the one scene where I actually like Ned, because you know, in the first movie he's like
Destroy the turbine.
a dumb, you know, like friend, and then they try to give him a personality in the second one, and it's like, no, he's fucking stupid.
AIM has
And
sent
so they let him go
forces to
back to
stop
being
you.
like a wide-eyed kind of kid again. And he asked Toby, like, "Do you have a best friend in your universe?" And he's like, "Yeah, I watched my best friend die." And Ned just looks at him, and it's a really great moment of acting.
Avengers, I said. Fun, I
And
said.
that's where like Andrew makes the youth pastor joke, and in a way he's kind of written as like the regular comic book style Spider-Man, with the clips and stuff, before that kind of became like Deadpool's gimmick. Oh gosh, which is why like people like the Garfield one a lot.
Guys! Guys!
I picked a shitty team. Oh yeah, get the turbine.
Looks like you're a little tied up. About an upgrade. It's me.
Don't break that shit.
That turbine is finished. Well done.
So they all got to team up, and they go to the Statue of Liberty. I forget why
Low here.
it's there,
I'm here.
and it's weird. It's like a new Statue of Liberty that has like Captain America's shield.
Feeling a little rough over here.
Oh my gosh.
Good as
Whoa,
new.
Harakiri.
Over here.
You call?
And there's a funny moment where like
How about you sleep this one off?
Toby's like stretching his back, you know, and trying to limber up before fighting. To me, like, there's cool moments like that, but in terms of the script and the writing, I really don't think they did as much as they could have with the actors they had. But I know like a lot of that came together last minute, so you can kind of forgive that. So basically they fight all the enemies at the Statue of Liberty. The stuff you saw in the leaked Brazil trailer or whatever. And you know, it ends with Tom Holland fighting Green Goblin and maybe getting his revenge, like killing
AIM
him,
has a
right?
set of turbines
And Tobey
powering
Maguire
one of
comes
their
in,
emergency generators.
and you know, he
Disable
stops him before he can make the same mistake he did. And oh yeah, and I forgot the part about Garfield saves Zendaya, MJ. But it's not even shot the same way it's done in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it happens really fast. So I didn't feel like it was as emotional as it could have been. Uh, and people even called that something like that would happen in the movie before it came out. So it was kind of obvious. Like I said, there's a lot of things in the script that were just obvious. So I don't think they get a whole lot of credit for that. I think most of the credit for the movie comes from just getting it made and getting those actors together. But anyway, yeah, like Doctor Strange, they free him and he's like trying to like fix the spell, and as he's doing it, like the portals are cracking or like whatever. All these other Spider-Man enemies are coming in. You can see like outlines of Craven and shit and Rhino, and like there's a funny scene earlier where Garfield's like, I fought a dude in a Rhino suit, because they're talking about past enemies, and but yeah, and they fix all that shit. Everyone goes back to their normal timelines. I thought it was weird that Willem Dafoe and Tobey Maguire never acknowledge each other. He has a nice scene with Alfred Molina at the end, but yeah, those two don't acknowledge each other, and Tobey never acknowledges that he has a Dr. Connors in his universe, and like he could have been like, oh, that's fucked up that that's what happens to him, or maybe he could be like, when I go back, I need to save Connors from doing this. I think my main disappointment with the movie was that I thought we were gonna see the other Spider-Men in their universes, or at least Tobey first before they came through, and they totally didn't do that. So yeah, the original spell goes through, and everyone forgets that Spider-Man, or that's what he wants to happen. I don't know, or that's the only way to fix everything, to send everyone back. So then everything gets fixed, and he does have a nice scene with MJ where he's like, I don't want to forget you, and he's like, no, I promise I'll come find you, and then he does. But he like changes his mind about telling her or anything about it. He's like, nah, fuck it. I'd rather play the field, find a Gwen Stacy or a Black Cat, which is probably what they'll do. Felicia Hardy, bye Felicia. He told Zendaya, bye Felicia. But anyway, yeah, that was No Way Home. And then the ending credits is Venom from Sony, Eddie Brock, and he's like looking for Spider-Man, and he gets sent back to his universe too, but he leaves like a little black splooge. So that's how they're gonna introduce the suit. Maybe he's in Mexico, so it's gonna crawl its way from Mexico and get on Peter somehow. But anyway, yeah, No Way Home was okay. It was a huge movie because they put all those actors in the movie. But it's not like they could have done more with it, basically, is what I thought. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed seeing Andrew and Toby Spider-Mans, and I think they're gonna come back too, like Toby and Multiverse of Madness, because I totally forgot Sam Raimi got hired to direct that after they booted the first guy, probably because they got all these cameos now, so they gotta fucking get a real director. And then they might do, or they're probably gonna do like Andrew Garfield more, They're probably going to shoehorn him into Morbius, which they just delayed again. This is January 18th, by the way. Like I said, a little over a month after Spider-Man came out. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about it.